Hello, y'all. We won't talk about how this is the third time that I'm recording this, and I haven't even gotten into the meat and potatoes of the video because my phone keeps shutting off every time I hit record. Hello. I have been feeling a burst of inspiration to record this video, as I tend to with whenever I do decide to record something and put it out there. There's been a theme that has been coming. It's feeling like pieces of the puzzle are coming together in ways that I did not expect, that I am really thankful for, that I really appreciate. Hold on, let me see if we're still recording right now. All right, we're still going. A lot of pieces of the puzzle coming together are all surrounding this topic of intimacy. Yep. Me and intimacy anyway. I feel very uncomfortable, but giddy, but excited, but like, what direction is this video going to take? I don't know just yet. I have thoughts, disorganized thoughts, but thoughts that I hope together come together very cohesively. So my last video, I think I talked about, there was this video that I recorded three different times. And at the end of it, had this epiphany that was like, actually all the stuff that I talked about in that 3-time recorded video this is not the message right now. It's this. At the time, I was like protecting my inner child and all of that. And that felt really important to me. And I think even in that video, I was like, that video that I recorded 3 times, I don't know who that's for. I don't know if it's going to see the light of day. I don't know if I'll ever talk about it. Guess what? We talking about it. We are about to talk about it because I came across the video recently. I think this video was filmed in I recorded it in 2022, 2023 or something like that. And while I'm not going to show the whole video, I don't even know if I'm going to show clips or not, but I am going to talk about what I talked about in that video. And it was around this idea of intimacy. At the time, it was me expressing this desire for intimacy, this craving for intimacy, all forms of intimacy, and feeling like I was not going to ever experience that, feeling like I was never going to have the types of friendships that I wanted, the types of, partnered relationships that I wanted, and just feeling like I am literally doing life solo. And while I have an appreciation for being able to do that and have an appreciation for my independence and being able to support myself and all of that, sometimes it felt really lonely to do all of that on my own. As I was reflecting this morning, and even before that, I caught myself feeling sad about something. Like, I didn't wake up sad. I just suddenly felt sad. And as I was at my desk, was like, I need to journal this out. I need to figure out what is going on. Why am I feeling sad? Revealed a couple things to me, and then was like, okay, now I need to talk about it. And clearly that has led me to come on camera and talk about this same thing. So I was feeling sad. I was feeling lonely. I was feeling like I'm in a space where I am craving intimacy with people. Intimacy in all forms. I will say that. Intimacy in all forms. And feeling like, man, I don't want it just from anybody. I don't want to be in connection with just anybody. There is a very specific type of energy, type of experience that I am craving, that I feel like it's just hard to find and to come by, and hard to find people that are in this similar space and energy. And that is what makes me feel so lonely sometimes. I talk about a lot of things in that video, but seeing it again recently, kind of brought tears to my eyes and made me feel like my life has kind of changed since then. There's aspects of my life that have changed since then that I did not know when I filmed that video, obviously. Those things, that video and the things that are leading us to here today, are all what are coming together and inspiring this video today. In that video, I told you what I talked about, and I showed it to someone who I am with. I am in a relationship. Oh my gosh, what? That's crazy. It's not crazy. I am in my, believe it or not, I think people will believe it, but believe it or not, my very first adult, more serious, legitimate, partnered relationship that I have been in. It's been great. It has been very great. It has been very nurturing. It's been very intimate. It's been very much something that I can now think back to that video and those times and my whole healing journey that I used to talk a lot about, and understand why I went through that phase. Because had I not, I don't think I would be able to show up the ways that I have been able to show up in this relationship. I don't think I would have the capacity to understand myself more and try to understand someone else more and want to work to do better in certain ways. Or I don't think I would have had the capacity of someone else unintentionally, but just naturally being in close connection with someone. This person, trying to decide, do I want to just say his name or say a nickname? Squid. We call each other Squid sometimes, and that is what I'm going to do. Squid, I hope you don't take offense to me referring to you as Squid, but here we are right now. Relationship with Squid has been almost showing me a lot of blind spots that I wasn't aware that I had, or revealing to me certain feelings or thoughts or experiences that I've just never considered, never thought about, because I just wasn't in a position to. And now I am being encouraged, being challenged, being able to safely explore some of these thoughts that I've never thought about. Like, you know, it hasn't been that long, me and Squid, and I ain't saying that I'm ready for this right now. I don't want y'all to take this and run with it, okay? I do not. But I haven't really thought about the idea of me being married. I have not. I have not really thought about the idea of me and children. And now this is, again, we not there. We not there right now. But these are thoughts that now kind of pop up every now and then. Like, oh, snaps. Do I actually envision myself with kids? Having a child of my own? Oh, snaps. Can I imagine myself as a wife? Solo independent candidates just never, I was never one of those, one of those people that kind of have this dream wedding, dream ideas of their future and being, a parent. And I've never had those. I've just never had that. Never experienced that. Just was not my thing. Nothing wrong with it, of course, but it just was not something that I naturally did. And I don't think I'm doing that now, but it is something that I am now considering. Like, do I want to be married one day? Do I want to have kids? How do I feel about these matters? How do I feel about these issues? How do I express? That is also a big thing that I've been learning. I'm gonna get back to the topic of intimacy. We're kind of talking about intimacy, so just continue to bear with me. But another big thing that I'm learning just through being in this relationship is learning how to express more, learning how to say what's on my mind, talk about my feelings, and do that safely. That is something that has almost always been a challenge for me. I either don't say what's on my mind, I don't really express my feelings too strongly. And there was a time back in the day when I was regularly going to therapy, talking to my therapist and expressing my feelings about the things that were going on in my life at the time. There was always this tight, constricted feeling in my throat. It no matter what it was like I was forcing myself to say whatever it is. While I don't experience that as much anymore, it's very rare that I experience that, it is still challenging for me to express, to say something's wrong, to say that I'm upset with something, or to say I actually have these needs. And let's talk about it. I ain't gonna say I'm perfect at it. I am nowhere near perfect. I am still learning and growing. And this is why I appreciate you, Squid, because you're very patient with me. Whether you accept that I tell you that you're patient with me or not, you are very, very patient with me. And that's intimacy. You'll get that. So that is something that has changed in my life. And that is something that in that video that I recorded a couple years ago, I talked about wanting intimacy in like a relationship, like an intimate relationship with someone. And here I am, and I got it. The reason why I bring that up too is in that video, I said something along the lines of, I'm not sure if this will see the light of day. I don't even know who this is for. I have no clue. I don't know if I said this earlier in the video, but I have no idea what the point of this video was. I have no idea. I just know that I was reflecting today and just had this urge to just make a video out of it. I'm in a space where I'm trying to act way more off of my feelings and stop trying to be so logical and ask the whys and figure out the hows and the all of those, the who, what, why, where, and when. try not to ask so many of those questions and just take the step of, if I'm feeling something, just trust that it's for a reason. So whatever that reason is, I don't know in this moment. I do not know in this moment, but that is okay. I'm okay with that. Obviously, I didn't post it. I hadn't watched that video since I recorded it a couple years ago. So I recently came across it again. And as I was watching it, I instantly thought of Squid and was like, I think I want to show Squid this video. And it felt so vulnerable to do. I was like, I think I want to show him this past version of me and the thoughts that I was having and the feelings that I was having, all to show him where I was and where we are, and how I always say this relationship with him feels unbelievable to me because it's just, I didn't see it coming. I don't know, something about showing him to me felt like, here is a peek inside my mind. Here is another layer of appreciation for you, because what I said in that video, intimacy that I was seeking at the time, to me felt so rare. It felt so unlikely that I was going to come across someone that I meshed with in the ways that I mesh with Squid. So in a lot of ways, it was almost like a huge compliment, I hope, to him, that I feel this way with him. And it's been feeling very natural on both of our ends. This video is not about him, but he's a big piece of this intimacy discussion that I want to share. Also, what inspired this video today, my friend, I also don't know if I should say her name. I didn't ask, I don't know. Let's just call her D. That's not really let's just call her D. My friend D, who I've talked about before, that me and her have a monthly phone call with each other, and those phone calls last for hours. Yesterday we had one and we were on the phone for 3.5 hours talking about everything. And it didn't even feel like 3.5 hours. It just feels, when we do connect, especially when we're connecting over the phone, we do see each other in person too, of course, but when we do connect, it just feels so comfy, so natural, so like, wow, I needed this girlfriend connection. I needed to just be able to talk and be able to listen and be able to hear what's going on in her life, hear what she's challenged with, hear what's amazing that's going on in her life, be able to share things that are going on in my life, talk about different things. The way our friendship has continued to and continues to evolve always leaves me feeling so warm. The relationship that I have with her is the type of relationship that I've always wanted as an adult. One of my references for good girlfriend relationships is from the show Girlfriends. Now, you could say some of that was not that great of a reference, but I think foundationally, a lot of it is pretty good. Having these solid friends that can talk about anything, they can joke with each other, laugh with each other, experience things with each other, always have each other's back. For the most part, Tony was trifling sometimes. They all were trifling in their own way sometimes, but they're growing up watching that show, their dynamic to some degree was something that I always wanted as an adult. And I feel like I experience that every time me and Dee connect, every single time. And honestly, she is the big part of what is influencing this video, because I told this story before, many years ago, probably over 5 years ago at this point. That's crazy. Has it been 5 years? That's crazy. So we were college friends. We went to the same college. We didn't run in the same groups so tightly, but we were familiar with our friend groups and would hang out sometimes. She's also from California, so when we graduated, we still kept in contact, saw each other, would text each other a little bit here and there. But what felt like out the blue to me, she ended up asking me if I would be open to having monthly phone check-ins with her. And at the time, that version of Candace was like, in my head, was like, why? I don't got anything to talk about on a month-to-month basis. Like, oh, you want to talk to me? Me. There ain't nothing really all that interesting about me. I don't know. What are we gonna talk about? But I still did it. I still was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Sure. Let's see where this goes. Let's see how it goes. I'm sure there was some growing through it together, but I also feel like she was someone who has always been really patient with me as well. And still, wanted to be in each other's lives. And it took me some time to really appreciate that relationship the way that just the way that I appreciate it now. Last night, she sent me a voice note after we got off the phone, and she was like, because we had brought up how this monthly phone call came about, and she was like, you know, I was thinking about it because I'm always like so fascinated when you say you appreciate me for this, wanting to check in with you or wanting to have these monthly phone calls with you. And she was like, I was reflecting on like, what was it? What was it about, you that made me want to do that? And she said a few things, but one of the things, or the thing that really like is bringing us here today, is that she said that I was someone who she, either for the first time or for the first time in a really long time, felt like she did not have to betray parts of herself in order to be in friendship with me specifically. But I assume in general, it's not an experience that she has had. There's just something about that feels like me. I did that. I made you feel that way. I don't take it lightly. I feel really grateful for it. It is something that is very important to me. But it was like mind blowing to me for whatever reason. Or here's the reason. Here's one of the reasons. It led me to think about people's natural born gifts that, sometimes people talk about, that everyone has a gift, everyone has something that they are able to provide or offer to other people without them having to think about it, they just naturally do it. And her saying that to me was like, is this my natural gift? Is this a gift that I have? Is this something that I am able to do or able to make people feel sometimes without me even being aware of it, without me even trying? Because I would say this is probably not the first time this definitely isn't the first time that I've heard someone say something along the lines of this. Squid has said something along the lines of this to me several times. And I ain't saying everybody feels this way about me. I ain't putting that on everybody, but that just has been feeling very intimate to me. It feels very like, I don't know what the heck I am doing to provide someone with that experience, to make someone feel that safe. But I am so glad. I am so glad that I am doing it, because that is something that I look for too. That is something that I want to feel with people. I want to feel this sense of safety and feeling like I could just show up as my complete full self, whatever that looks like in that particular day, in that particular moment, and have that not be an issue, have that be something that is just accepted. And with Squid and with a few other key people in my life, I have felt that with them. I still feel that to some degree with them. Some people are, people from a bit of my past that I may not have that same level of connection to presently, but that understanding, that feeling, it just has never gone away. So those people still feel like important people to me. And this is something that there was an awareness of it, but something about D expressing that to me then made me think about other people that I feel that way about. And even, like I said, she's included. It just feels like intimacy, bro. It just feels like something about it. There's something about it feels enlightening. Something about it feels almost like an epiphany. Something about it just feels. I'm still processing, honestly. With Squid, I'm getting the partner intimacy. With D, I'm getting that girl friendship intimacy. With a few other people with key people who I would say I feel this way too, there's different types of intimacy. And the thing that I was also thinking about is each of these people, my relationships, my experiences with each of these people, I won't go through the list of the people, but while the dynamic of the relationship is very different, while it's all different, there is something foundational about that that is also beyond my level of feeling like I could be myself with them. What I also realize is that each of these people have shown me a different part of myself indirectly, without them actively doing something to pull it out of me or to showcase certain sides of myself. Like through D, I told her that through our connection, I have been able to and continue to learn how I want to be in friendship with other people, how I want to show up as a friend, how I want my friends to show up for me. The type of friendship that we have is the type of friendship that I want to continue to build with other people too. With Squid, like I said, I'm learning a lot of myself through our relationship. And again, it's not even him saying like, you have to learn this, you have to do this. There's not a you have to. There's just, through my observation, through my experiences, through the time that we share with each other, I I feel like I have been in like a crash course of learning a very new side of me. And it's exciting. It is also enlightening. There's just a lot that I feel like I am learning of myself. And also, just to mention, I am also learning about them too. I'm also learning about Squid. I'm also learning more about D. I'm also learning about everyone else too. But I think there's something to a relationship teaching you about yourself just naturally that I think is really important, rare. Like, these people feel like my people already. These people that I'm thinking about outside of just Squid and D, these all the people that I'm thinking of, they really do feel like they have been my people for a while, for a long time. And that feels huge. That feels like intimacy, Candace. It feels like intimacy. Stay on track. There's a theme here. It feels like intimacy. All right. It just makes me, again, go back to that video of me a couple years ago and what I was expressing in that video, and comparing that to where I am and how I feel now. Just feel like two different people sometimes. Given me and Dee were friends back then too, and we were still having our monthly phone calls. We were a couple years into that, and she definitely felt like a close friend then, but it feels even stronger now. And it also makes me think, like, what is it going to be like? What are we going to be like a couple years down the line? Like, what? That's exciting to me. That's very exciting to me. I think I'm gonna call it here. And hope that I expressed all the things that were of most importance to express with intimacy. I think ultimately I have entered this phase of my life where I do feel very intimate and pretty much all of my connections. This even bleeds into my relationships with family. Like my mom, for example, she's one of the people. I have been more affectionate towards her. And if you ask her, me growing up, when she would try to get hugs from me and all of that, I used to be like, fine. I was so anti-hug. Anti-affection. And now I love you, Mom. Let me hold your hand. I've grown to be a lot more affectionate with people that I am close to and really care about. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Okay, these don't necessarily have to do with intimacy, but this is how I will close out this video. One, I want to say shout out to my mother for this sweater and hat combination. These are like, she be crocheting, y'all, and these are some of my favorite things that she has crocheted me that I wear often. While I don't know if she's ever going to make another sweater like this, because apparently this took some time, some effort, and some energy, and she says never again. I hope she does again. And I am just giving her a little shout out. Might even throw her Instagram page in the comments or in the, in the description, shout out to my mother. The other thing that I want to share, I am trying something new, y'all, and I'm a little nervous about it. So y'all know I'm no stranger to journaling. I be journaling. I still be journaling. Not every day or anything like that, but I journal. I've been journaling consistently for several years now, which is also wild to me for different reasons, but I'm thankful that journaling has been a very consistent practice for me. But I also have been noticing that sometimes I just don't have the energy to journal. Sometimes it's like days go by and I'm like, there's so much that I would like to document from these past few days, but I just don't. My hand hurts. My hand hurts. So I've been exploring other ways to express and essentially journal in just different formats. One thing that I potentially will be doing, which may lead to more videos, I don't know. But I have been doing video diaries for myself again, not every day, but just when I feel like I want to get something off my chest, or want to share something, or I want to reflect on same thing years down the line and be able to look back at this moment and watch a video of myself. So I've been exploring that. I've also been exploring voice notes for the same reasons, just a quick recording a voice note, talking out loud, talking to myself, and being able to hear myself does something for me. I still journal in the traditional format, but something that I started that I don't know how consistent I am going to be just yet, but so far I kind of sort of enjoy the idea of it. Spit it out, Candace. You guys have heard of Substack? You know what Substack is? No? Yes? Maybe so? Substack, how I personally would describe it, is pretty much a blog, but it has components that remind me of Reddit. Not the crazy Reddit, but just visually, aesthetically, there's a Reddit-like element to it. It reminds me a little bit of like Twitter X, not the crazy Twitter X, but just something about it. And it also reminds me of what I imagined the Tumblr era was to some extent. I was never on Tumblr, so I don't really know, but it incorporates all of these different elements, and it is not nonsense. You know, it's not people on there just talking nonsense about crazy, opinionated. It is almost like a break from social media, even though it is a social media platform in and of itself, but it is a completely different vibe than other social medias. So, and it's tailored towards writers, people who write, people who just want to share their thoughts. And so I started a Substack. Still early in the phase. I made 2 posts and still have no idea what direction I will be taking this. What I will be doing with it, don't know, do not know. But what I will tell you is right now, what I'm doing is there's this website that I found that has, you know, like 57 journal prompts for personal growth. And what I have done, or what I'm working on, is like answering these questions, all 57. I may not post all 57 because some of them seem like they will be very personal. And I don't know how likely I would want to share certain things on the internet. But I've been using that for inspiration as something to write. So it's almost like right now, just another outlet for journaling. I be journaling in every single format. I be doing it. So originally I was not going to share that with anyone, and I had intended to just do it for myself without letting anyone know, just to see how I feel. But I was thinking about it today when I was feeling inspired to do this video, and was like, well, maybe I'll throw in the fact that I'm starting a Substack, or started a Substack account, and see where that leads me. So I will also, if anyone is interested, it's free. I will also put that information down. Wow. I think that's it. You guys are tired of me talking, right? Because I'm kind of tired of talking. See, I don't even know if I said that sentence correctly. I hope you are good. As always, thank you for listening. That's intimacy. I might make a video. Anyway, I ain't gonna promise nothing. Goodbye.